I work full-time as a lab technician at Swansea University and also part-time on a PhD in materials engineering. My full-time job is as a lab technician for the solar cell research group specific at Swansea University. So I look after some of our labs, including our clean room. The clean room is a controlled environment where we're able to make perovskite solar cells, and this type of solar cell is made by depositing very thin chemical layers onto a substrate, usually glass, and these layers can sometimes be disrupted by changes in the atmosphere. So, for example, if there are a lot of particles in the atmosphere, then there is a higher chance some of those might land on the layers as we deposit them, which can potentially disrupt the function of the final device. The chemicals we deposit can also be affected by changes such as temperature and humidity. Our research group has a focus on upscaling, so we start by making very small devices in the lab at about 1 centimetre squared, just to be able to investigate how we can change and improve them. But to be useful in the real world, these devices have got to be far bigger. There's challenges with upscaling to larger devices, including knowing how much control we actually need in the manufacturing environment. My PhD topic is to look at quantifying the actual impacts on perovskite solar cells from various environmental changes. I will be creating a small-scale version of an enclosed environment where I can do controlled experiments to see what results I get in devices as I make them when I change the particle count, temperature or humidity. Knowing those impacts will give us a better representation of exactly how much control we really need on the environment. Controlling the environment of a lab is a lot easier than doing so on an industrial scale. It's expensive, but for research purposes it's feasible. On an industrial scale, this becomes very expensive, so you really don't want to be putting in any unnecessary controls if you don't need them. And at this level of production, you don't want to be making guesses at the optimal temperature and cleanliness levels you might need. So this is why investigating this at the research stage is so important. It informs these decisions as we begin to upscale devices, and the result is then as cost effective and efficient as it can be. This academic year has not gone to plan for me. I'm still quite early on in my PhD, but with the extra time at home this year I was at least able to really start to get my head around learning a lot of the backgrounds I needed to know and begin working on some new skills I need to know to create my controlled environment and to get it to function as needed. Being able to begin learning these new skills has been really great. I've recently started to learn programming using Python, which is totally new to me, but will be really useful for my project and probably in the future as well. For me, research offers so many opportunities and skills which are really interesting and useful to learn. The end goal is always something to aim for, to achieve, but it's never the only thing you're going to learn when working towards a long-term goal like that. There are so many things you can learn along the way which can apply to both academia and industry. A large part of my PhD project is practical, so I will need to be able to conduct experiments in the lab with a unique setup that I've designed myself and learn all the skills and methods that I need to do that. Fortunately for me, I'm still largely at the planning stage at the moment and therefore have had plenty of opportunity to do a lot of research and learn some skills which can be done at the PC. It really just means I've had to adjust my timings a bit. Contributing to a much bigger picture. The research project by itself is an interesting journey which will teach you a lot, but it's helping to advance the topic overall, which is pretty exciting. Even if your research is just one part of it, it's still a part that was missing before. Science doesn't advance without all kinds of expertise and backgrounds working together. I get a lot out of both my job and my research project. It's something I worked hard for and I feel very privileged to be a part of it all.